Makaagham na umaga sa ating lahat. Welcome to the 8th episode of the Dad at the DOST Scholar, a DOST Scholar's Story. Ako po si Novemi Anaayo, ang iyong magiging host for today. So bago natin simulan ang programang ito, tayo po muna ay manalangin.
Idayaw, idayaw minagan mo. Nanaeng ka ng bindisyonan, ili ay kaigurutan. Iyaman ken Diyos Ama. Nanenta ko na dagupan, dadat ay endakanan, daidis imnas balbalala, imnas balbala si basem, o imnas ay dadamanan layad ni sineng ka ng banbantayan, tumunggal sa ay anak mo. Diyos Ama'y wadadaya, siyanan en milualu. Pigsalaing nan mawawada, kenda kami ay wadas na, daidis imnas balbalala, imnas balbala si basem, o imnas ay.
Muli, welcome to the 8th episode of the Dad at the DOST Scholar. Sa episode na ito, expect na ang DOST-SEI Undergraduate Scholarship Programs will be promoted sa kwento ng ating dalawang graduate scholar. Ipopromote din po nila ang PSHS Scholarship. So heads up po sa mga grade 6 students as you are the eligible applicants of this program. Sana makapagbigay din ang episode na ito ng inspirasyon sa bawat isa para magpursu ng SNT courses sa inyong undergraduate studies. Hindi na po natin patatagalin, tawagin po natin si Dr. Nancy A. Bantog, ang Regional Director ng DOST-CAR para sa kanyang opening message.
sa ating mga manunood at taga-suporta ng ating programang pinamagatang DAD the DOST Scholar. Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Ngayong Agosto, ipinagdidiriwang nating mga Pilipino ang buwan ng wikang pambansa na may temang Filipino at mga wikang katutubo sa dekolonisasyon ng pag-iisip ng mga Pilipino. Nagkikiisa ang kagawaran ng agham at teknolohiya at iba pang ahensya sa Komisyon ng Wikang Pilipino sa pagdiriwang sa taong ito. Ang selebrasyon ng Buwan ng Wikang Pambansa ay nakasentro sa halaga ng Filipino at mga katutubong wika sa bansa bilang mabisang paraan ng dekolonisasyon ng mga Pilipino o pagiging ganap na malaya sa impluensya ng ibang bansa. Ang pagdiriwang ng Buwan ng Wika ay hindi lamang sana matatapos sa buwan ng Agosto. Sana patuloy nating pagyamanin, pausbungin at tangkilikin ang wikang Filipino. Noong naisabatas ng dating Pangulong Fidel V. Ramos ang Republic Act 7687 or Science and Technology Scholarship Act noong 1994 na ipakilala ang kahalagahan ng agham at teknolohiya sa pag-asenso ng isang bansa. Naideklara sa batas na kailangang palaguhin at palawakin ang ating yamang tao or human resources sa larangan ng agham, teknolohiya, engineering at matematika. Ang Science Education Institute ay ang pangunahing opisina sa kagawaran ng agham at teknolohiya na humihikayat sa mga interesado at karapat-dapat na estudyante sa buong bansa na maging scholar sa agham at teknolohiya. Sa pagdaan ng maraming taon, patuloy ang pag-abot ng Science Education Institution sa pag-produce ng mga scholar graduates na handang magbigay ng serbisyo sa ating bansa. Ang scholarship program na ito ay tumutulong din sa paghubog ng ating scholar na maging masipag, matapat at makabansa. Upang patuloy na maragdagan ang ating mga profesional sa larangan ng agham at teknolohiya, patuloy din ang pagsisikap ng iba't ibang rehiyon sa Pilipinas upang abutin ang mga kasalukuyang lugar para maibalita ang nais ng aming ahensya na makatulong sa ating mga kabataang abutin ang kanilang mga pangarap sa pamamagitan ng agham at teknolohiya. Bago magwakas ang buwan na ito, maisa sa publiko ang mga qualifiers noong nakaraang application para sa 2021 Undergraduate Scholarship at ating hiling ay sana madami tayong mga estudyante sa Cordillera Region na pumasa, magpatuloy at maging scholar graduates na maglilingkod din sa ating bayan. Sa ika-8 na episode ng ating DAD the DOST Scholar, ating matutunghayan ang kwento ng ating dalawang graduate scholars ng RA 10612 Junior Level Science Scholarship na ngayon special science teachers sa Philippine Science High School, Cordillera Administrative Region Campus. Sila din ang mga kauna-unahang batch ng high school na nagtapos sa Philippine Science High School ng Cordillera. Ating tunghayan kung paano nabago ng DOST Scholarship Program ang kanilang buhay at pananaw sa buhay. sa mga darating na buwan, madami pa tayong mga matutunghayan na kwento ng ating mga scholar graduate at sana sa pamamagitan nito, mas mahikayat pa natin ang mga kabataang maging scholar para sa bayan. Maraming salamat at pagpalain tayo ng Diyos.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Nancy. Para mas mainam pa natin maintindihan kung bakit natin ginagawa ang programang ito, tawagin naman po natin si Ma'am Alicia A. Balakwa, Senior Science Research Specialist at DOST-CAR Scholarship Coordinator para ibahagi ang rasyonale ng DAD-AT na ito.
The Philippines has 270 research and development personnel per million population, according to UNESCO's 2015 survey of R&D expenditure and human resources. This is below UNESCO's standard of 380 research and development personnel per million population. In the Cordillera Administrative Region, we only have 467 R&D personnel. This is lower than the regional distribution of 13,107 R&D personnel in the country's capital region. Prior to the imposition of travel restrictions and quarantine protocols, the DOST-CAR advocated the agency's scholarship program in order to invite more students and possibly increase the R&D pool of human resources. Among the efforts to promote the scholarship program is the scholarship caravan conducted in all the provinces of the region where GDAs were prioritized. With the increasing reach of information technology in the country, the DOST-CAR has launched on January 29, 2021, at the DOST Scholar as part of its continuing information drive to invite the youth to be scholars for the nation. The term DAD-AT is a Kankanai term that refers to an indigenous knowledge system and practice where the elders in the Cordilleras pass stories through word of mouth and is traditionally done by chanting. Let us know more about the DOST Scholarship Program through our regional scholarship ambassadors for today's episode. Naimbag nga daw, kinyatayo amin.
Salamat po, Ma'am Alice. Sana nakuha po natin ang idea kung bakit may ganito tayong mga programa. Ngayon naman, ating tawagin si Dr. Wilfredo B. Mina, President of the Federation of Career Guidance Advocates, Network of the Philippines Incorporated, para magbigay ng isang mensahe.
I would like to greet our organizers, especially your director, si Director Nancy Bantog, for taking the initiative of restaging again this at the DOST Scholar. This is a very laudable project related to career guidance advocacy program. You know, in fact, even before the SIGAP, when I was the director of the Office of Student Affairs of Benguet State University, the DOST Benguet, yung sa inyo, they've been very active and supportive in trying to work out scholarships for our students. But in one way or the other, there were few takers kasi nga ho, yung sa science and technology medyo hindi ho masyado pang mabili. The attitude or the orientation of our students are more geared towards the other disciplines. But today, we are very glad that itong ginagawa ng DOST, that at the DOST Scholar, is a very good project that is trying to arouse the awareness of our students, our clientele, your clientele, to be able to catch up in trying to work out and building a nation. And today, maraming salamat po at nabigyan niyo ako ng pagkakataon na magsalita, na magbigay ng inspirasyon. Hindi lang sa mga ating mga mag-aaral, pero para sa inyo rin, ng mga staff ng DOST. Sa palagay ko, kayo po ay parang kayo na rin ang frontliners ng ating programa sa DOST, and we appreciate that very much and we recognize your efforts. So I may now work with my talk. The education sector was not spared in the uncertainties brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. This situation has prompted us to find ways to continue the education of the youth, but at the same time ensure their safety from this threat. And we are glad that both the public and private sectors, that includes the DOST, continue to innovate and adapt measures to make sure we can still produce competitive and efficient graduates who will contribute in nation building. The Career Advocacy Plan program of the Human Development and Poverty Reduction Cabinet Cluster 2018-2022 seeks to ensure the students, teachers, job seekers, and out-of-school youth, parents, training institutions, academe, and public service offices, or the PESOs, are provided with appropriate and timely knowledge of the realities of the labor market, especially with the full implementation of the K-12 programs. It revolves around the theme, making sound and informed career choices, honing 21st century skills of the Filipino youth by integrating career guidance and making responsive to the rapidly evolving demands of the labor market, while considering the effects of regional integration. The Federation of Career Guidance Advocates Network of the Philippines Incorporated, for which I am connected and the president, one of the, in fact, a major ally of the lead agency of the SICAP, DOLE, also helps in the conduct of regular guidance to the youth, particularly to high school and SEI students. In fact, itong mga members natin ng mga career guidance advocates and network is not only limited to DepEd. To me, I believe that all of us are career guidance advocates. Yun lang po, hindi na formalize yung membership. So parang inherent na sa office nyo na kayo ay career guidance advocates. But how I wish you will make yourselves formally members in our roster of Career Guidance Advocates Network. In fact, nasabi ko yan kay kay Ma'am Novi Mayan Aayo na kung later on, kasi meron tayong balak kasi na i-organize itong Career Guidance Advocates working group. Kasi sa national, meron tayong SIGAP Technical Working Group. Eh kung sa pandemic, meron tayong IATF, dito sa SIGAP, meron din Technical Working Group. You will take note that in the past, when I haven't yet retired from BSU, we had already this SIGAP working group. Ang mga members po rito sa SIGAP ay yung mga interagencies, DOST, DepEd, PRC, CHED, TESDA, and the lead agency, DOLE. And so, yun ang may propose ko during this August 5 to 2021, na sana po magkaroon tayo ng panibagong sigla ng ating Career Guidance Advocates working group so that we can have a convergent way of working together. I know that even without this convergent group principle, DOST is doing its best in reaching out to the referees of our region, and I commend you for that. You have been doing this efficiently and effectively. In fact, I've been telling this to my students in graduate guidance in BSU. Some of them are now guidance counselor of Philippine Science High School, Mr. Ma'am, I forgot already their names, but I can't remember them. So,
Yes.
yung mga guidance counselor sa PSHS-CARC sa Philippine Science High School dito sa Cordillera, sila po ang ating mga na-train din. And I'm very glad that they are with Philippine Science High School na idradrambit nila itong science and technology. We help in the conduct of regular guidance of the youth, particularly to the high school and SEI students, conduct research studies on career guidance, provide appropriate and updated guidance and career coaching, and many more. Just recently, we came up with the results of the research on the impact of the career guidance given to the students. This was under the sponsorship of DOLE BNE and undertaken by SFI, Service Filipino Incorporated. And even with this career guidance employment coaching, I believe DOST can make use of this also in your guidance employment counseling or in your scholarship unit. Up until this moment, webinars are conducted to continuously assist and guide the students in the early stage of education and sign themselves into the best career suited to their talents and capabilities. This, I would like to believe that when I made mention about your being so active, is that you conduct campaigns, information. You go also for your caravan, no? In fact, when we organized the career working group in the Cordillera, DOST was very active then that time. And medyo naglaylo. That's why my proposal in the national, lahat po sa all regions, that we have to activate the SIGAP working group para yung convergent efforts talagang ma-realize natin. And I'm very happy that DOST is doing its part. Nag-step up kayo, nagle-level up kayo. Meanwhile, the Department of Science and Technology, which is also a member, as we have said earlier, of the SIGAP, has been, has been very committed, very loyal. This is the, medyo baliktad ito pagpabasa, yung Career Guidance Advocacy Program. Ito, that this is of 2018, 2022. This one, ito. Yan, nandito. And you will note that in this handbook or in this Bible of the SIGAP, meron itong mga commitment ng DOST. Dito baliktad, I don't know how to work it that ganon eh. But there are 4 commitments of DOST national. And number 3 is, I will read only number 3, which is very related to your efforts. Implement scholarship programs in priority science and technology courses. Ay nako po, talagang ginagawa ito ng DOST. Saludo ako talaga. I'm very happy that with your invite to me here, I can relay also my observations, my feeling about how DOST is doing its best to help in trying to develop our human capital, especially directed to the science and technology. You will need during our June 3, 2021, career guidance action advocacy group, working group national. Dito po, meron yung 2 foundation na sumusuporta doon sa call nyo. And one of them is Skills Allure Learning Program, RABA Consulting. And also, Women in STEM Workforce Readiness Program by International Labor Organization. This was discussed by Ms. Linartes Viloria of ILO. So, ang ganda po itong mga nangyayari ngayon. So sa amin sa FCGAP, talagang dinadrambit din namin ito. At ngayon, talagang tututukan namin at magkaroon tayo ng mas masigla pang ugnayan, connectivity. The DOST Science Education Institute is the prime mover agency that encourages the youth to enroll in the different fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Undoubtedly, science and technology greatly contribute to building the nation's productivity, as evidenced by the growth of other countries. Our country has only 189 scientists per million, which is very low compared to the UNESCO recommendation of 380 per million. That is according to the research study of Anito, Morales, and Palisco, 2019. Alam niyo po, nakikita ko itong ginagawa niyo. It's a form of accompanying. You're engaging yourselves personally. As an institution, you are doing your best to reach out, to engage with our students, to other institutions. And this is how we have to do it today in the pandemic. We have to learn to work together. We have to learn to adapt, which is best for our clientele, so that our country will be able to, sabi natin, makakaahon sa problema natin, especially in unemployment, especially during this time in the pandemic. And I believe that with your efforts, talagang malayo ang mararating natin na makatulong sa job mismatch and yung mga unemployment problems natin. Sana po yung iba pang mga agency tutulong din sa inyong mga hangarin na magkaroon ng marami pang mga estudyante, lalo na yung mga sa mga ating mga kapatid, mga ating mga kababaihan, na sana po ay tanggapin din ang alok na ito ng DOST, especially for CAR, to, we help them in trying to decide for their roadmap, career roadmap. And one of these very promising vocation or occupation or profession is on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The DOST Cordillera Administration interactivity entitled the DOST Scholar promotes science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to the stories of the graduate scholars. Ma'am Grangeri, don't you know that this DAT-AD, the DOST Scholar, a DOST Scholar story, is one of the major specific activity of SIGAP that is labeled under the subtitle of Career Ambassador. And so, ang mga ating mga guest na may interview sila Ma'am Kaye, Melina, Natividad, Alamag, and Ma'am Grace Fangayen, mga career ambassadors ito. At marami pa kayo na maaari natin na tawagin na makipag-share. Ako po, hindi po ako scholar ng DOST. But at one time when I was with BSU, I was also a scholar, and I was sent for my scholarship to the PhD Counseling in Psychology in De La Salle University. And that's why I am giving back what the government has given me now as the president of the FCGAP, so that makakatulong din ako, natulungan ako ng gobyerno, sapat naman na i-plowback ko ang ating biyaya na natanggap hanggang ngayon. Kaya po, gusto ko sa mga nakikinig, mga estudyante, mga parents, kailangan po na mag-engage tayo sa ating mga anak, and let us be sensitive in trying to help them discover their interests, help them develop their aptitude, of course, their attitude towards their perspective of what an occupation is, what a vocation is, and what is a profession is. And today, our country needs scientists Maraming tayong mga professions dyan, pero today, makikita nyo naman, yumayabong ang Pilipinas kasi ang ating mga products, worldwide, global ang kanilang achievements. And I believe DOST can deliver the goods to those who are willing, who are interested to pursue a career in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In closing, let us all work together and help the youth find their passion and be successful members of our society through science, technology, and innovation. Yun po ang maikli kong maibabahagi po sa ating mga tagapakinig, sa ating mga resource speakers. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much po, Dr. Mina, sa inyong mensahe. Ngayon naman, ipakilala na natin ang ating mga panauhin sa araw na ito. At upang formal na ipakilala ang ating mga resource speakers, tawagin po natin si Sir Alfonso K. Berto, ang Provincial Science and Technology Director ng Mountain Province para ipakilala sila.
Good morning to each and everyone. For today's episode of DAD the DOST Scholar, the task of introducing our resource speakers is a privilege, especially that they are DOST scholars from high school to college. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our esteemed speakers, whose stories will be an opportunity for our viewers to understand more about the DOST Scholarship Program and how it continues to affect the lives of our scholars. Our first guest finished her degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science at the University of the Philippines, Baguio in 2017. She was a consistent DOST-SEI JLSS Scholar until she successfully completed her college degree. Currently, she is taking her Master's in Information Technology at the University of the Cordilleras while working at the Philippine Science High School-Cordillera Administrative Region Campus as STEM teacher. Due to her dedication in her work, she was promoted from Special Science Teacher 1 into Science or Special Science Teacher 2 in 2020. Our first speaker proved that persistence in yearning for continuous self and career improvement will come a long way. Let us learn from her inspiring story this morning. Let us welcome Miss Kaye, Melina, Natividad, B. Alamag. Our second guest finished her degree of Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering at the St. Louis University 2018. She was a consistent DOST-SEI Scholar and Dean's Lister, even since she worked as a student assistant in 2017 and in STP staff in the summer term of school years 2013 to 14 and school year 2015-2016. Our speaker holds a CS professional eligibility aside from being a licensed chemical engineer. This is quite fitting since perseverance, hard work, and yearning for continuous self and career improvement are some of the values in her life. Let us welcome our other guest for today, Engr Mayla Grace L. Fangayen, a teacher of science, technology, and mathematics at the Philippine Science High School, Cordillera Campus. May we invite everyone to know them more, including the DOST Scholarship Program, through our two scholarship ambassadors for today's episode.
Thank you so much po, Sir Alphonse. Sa episode na ito, makikilala naman natin ang ating mga resource speakers at si Ma'am Grangery, isa sa mga DOST-CAR scholarship staff na mag-i-interview sa kanila. Pero bago yan, panoorin muna natin ang videong ito.
Makaagham na umaga sa inyong dalawa, Ma'am Kaye at Ma'am Mayla. Ikinalulugod namin na makasama kayo sa araw na ito. Good morning, Ma'am Kaye and Ma'am Mayla. So bago po natin simulan ang mga katanungan po sa inyo, baka may gusto po kayong i-shout out.
Hello po sa DOST. Thank you sa pera. Yeah, joke lang po. Thank you po sa opportunity.
Ma'am Mayla.
Hi, scholars! Pagutihin niyo yung pag-aaral kasi ang katapat niyan ay allowance na malaki-laki din. Ayan, so enjoy!
Okay, so ayan po. So simulan po natin ang ating mga katanungan, mga madam. So ang unang tanong, ikwento niyo po sa amin ang inyong karanasan nung kayo ay nag-apply sa DOST Scholarship. Paano niyo po nalaman ang tungkol dito at bakit kayo nag-apply? So ang una po muna magtatanong ay si Ma'am Kaye. Ay magsasagot pala. Sorry.
Ay, hello po. So, nalaman ko itong DOST scholarship nung incoming third year na ako, and nakita siya ni Mama sa isang advertisement online, and sabi niya, maganda ito, try mo. Sabi niya, so siya po yung nag-push sa akin na mag-apply, na kasi po nung incoming college ako, bumagsak ako sa DOST-SEI, yung unang scholarship. Pero ayun po, at least nung nakita namin na may for incoming third year, nagtiwala po ako na kakayanin sana, and yan po, pinagpala naman na nakapasa rin sa wakas. So yun po.
Okay. Kayo naman po, Ma'am Mayla.
Okay, actually halos the same, pero yung nag-inform naman sa akin ay yung panganay namin. Ano kasi yun, siya yung tagahanap ng mga opportunities. Magaling siyang maghanap. Since siya yung panganay, tapos that time, sunod-sunod kaming kolehiyo. Parang 3 kami that time. So, nung nakita niya yung scholarship na yon, sinabihan niya agad ako, and then nag-apply kasi the same, bumagsak din ako nung DOST scholarship na yung 5 years for incoming first year college. So, yun. Exam ako, tapos pumasa naman. And yung way ng pag-apply, hindi naman nahirapan kasi dito lang ako sa Baguio na college, dyan sa SA. So, yun po.
So ayun po, ang maganda pong dulot ng scholarship po ng DOST ay hindi lamang ito pang undergrad lang, hindi lang para sa mga first year college students or incoming first year, pero binibigyan din natin ng chance ang mga third year college na mag-avail po ng scholarship. Kaya po ngayon, meron po tayong mga panauhin na testimony na pag bumagsak po ng first, dun po sa undergrad, pwede pa din pong itry yung sa junior level science scholarship. So, nung kayo po ay naging scholar, pwede niyo po bang ikwento sa amin kung ano po yung naging buhay niyo? Nahirapan po ba kayong mag-adjust from a regular college student tapos bigla po kayong naging scholar ng bayan? Ikaw naman po, Ma'am Mayla, ang unang sumagot.
Actually, dahil dyan sa scholarship, naging madali yung ano ko as college student. Kasi nabawasan yung problem kong financial. At least, ayun, meron na akong pinagkukuhanan ng para sa mga para matustusan yung other needs ko during my college days. Ayun. So, malaki na actually yung tulong nun. At masaya din ako kasi hindi lang ako yung natutulungan, yung family ko din. So, pagdating ng allowance, ayan, pambayad sa mga ibang city services sa bahay. Ganun.
Ayun po. Ikaw naman po, Ma'am Kaye.
Hello po. So same po kami ni Ma'am Mayla nung nagka-allowance na po ako. Natutunan ko na rin hindi humingi ng allowance sa parents. So doon po ay malaking tulong na. And lahat po hanggang sa graduation fees, di ba po pag-graduate tayo, ang daming binabayaran doon. So ang laking tulong po nung stipend. And compared po nung first 2 years ko ng college na hindi scholar, same lang naman po kasi syempre lahat tayo ng courses may maintaining grade. And sakto po nung naging scholar na ako, same lang din naman yung maintaining grade sa maintaining ng DOST. So, okay lang po. Basta mag-aral ng mabuti ay okay naman. Hindi naman pressure yung maintaining grades. Yan.
Ayun. So, buti naman po sa ating mga speakers for today, hindi daw po pressure ang pag-maintain ng grades. Ang iba po kasi nape-pressure po sila na i-maintain po yung 85 and above na average po, lalo na po sa mga ongoing scholars natin ngayon. Nung naging scholar po ba kayo, meron po ba kayong mga hamon na kinaharap? Or merong mga challenges? Ikaw po, Ma'am Kaye.
Same lang din po sa normal students yung pag-aaral, pero syempre po, pag may mabagsak kang subject, mas nakakatakot na. So, isang challenge po yun. And ano rin po, siguro ang isang challenge lang din po sa akin. Pero learning experience na rin, di ba, kaharap ko ang DOST. So, ang daming papers na nire-request para sa files ko as a scholar. Pero dahil doon natuto naman ako na i-balance yung time ko or yung na rin pakikitransact sa government office. And yan po. And lastly, yung isa pang challenge ay yung pag-budget ng allowance kasi po syempre yung tuition ko noon ay 5K siya 5 years ago. Syempre biglang yaman ka sa student, no? So yung challenge mo rin ay i-budget yon na unahin mo muna yung kailangan mo sa pag-aaral bago yung gusto mo bilang isang bata, ganun. Yan.
Ayun po. So, bali po ngayon ang UPB, University of the Philippines Baguio, free na po yung tuition nila. So, good news po yun sa mga taga-UP po. Ikaw naman po, Ma'am Mayla, meron ka din po bang mga kinaharap na mga hamon nung ikay naging scholar?
Ang hamon lang naman po na na-meet ko nung naging scholar ako ay yung yung dapat hindi bumagsak. Kasi third year yan, walang maintaining balance, basta pasado ka dun sa scholarship namin. So, yun. Bumagsak ako, another na naman yun kasi yung akala ko mawawalan na ako ng scholarship. So, malaking yun sa akin, down. Yun. Pero nung since consider yung UST, okay lang, carry lang. So, yun yung itong scholarship, nung bumagsak ako, naging lesson yun sa akin na hindi agad-agad kasi may mga second chances naman eh. Yun. So, may warnings, ganon. Kaya ayaw ko sa mga scholars na kahit yung sa ibang scholars ng ibang programs ng DOST, huwag matakot bumagsak. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na sadyain yung bumagsak. You should strive harder, study harder para tuloy-tuloy. Sayang kasi time is gold, sabi nila. So, huwag niyo nang ilampasan yung kung 4-year course ang course niyo, huwag niyo nang gawing 5 years or 6 years. So, yun lang.
Ayun, iba talaga ang mensahe pag nanggagaling sa ating mga teachers, gaya po nila Ma'am Mayla at Ma'am Kaye. Sila po talaga yung nakakaalam kung paano po i-manage ang mga students. And hopefully sa mga scholars na narinig po natin yung mga magagandang aral na nakuha sa kanila. Like for Ma'am Kaye, we need to learn how to manage our financial assistance, yung mga tuition nyo, huwag nyo ginagasto sa mga bagay na hindi nyo kailangan. At para kay Ma'am Mayla naman, huwag matakot bumagsak. You need to learn from bad experiences para magkaroon ka ng memories on how you would reap yung good experiences na matututunan mo after that bad experience. Nung kayo ay naging scholar na, nung mga third year college nyo and fourth year college, 2 years lang yun, meron ba kayong naalalang mga memorable moments ninyo with your co-scholars? Or anything revolving yung mga activities na ginagawa ng SEI? Ikaw po, Ma'am Mayla.
Yung maalala ko lang na memories with other scholars is yung pag-aantay namin ng allowance. Kasi, ayun, yun yung masaya. Nagtatanungan, minsan sabay-sabay kaming pupunta sa dun sa ATM para mag-check ng balance. Ayun po. And for the different programs, like yung seminars na ng DOST, ako kasi lagi akong late. Nalalaman ko na lang, tapos na pala. So, iyon. Siguro kulang ako sa sa communication with other scholars, at hindi din kasi ako active masyado sa Facebook, social media, ganun, kaya late ko talagang nalalaman. So, yun.
At least po mayroong experience po regarding po sa pagpila sa ATM machine. I do believe lahat po ng scholars ganun. Ganun po yung kwento nila. Ikaw naman
Yes
po,
po.
Ma'am Kaye.
Yan, same din po kami, yung isang tingin lang sa kasama mo, alam mo na dumating na yung stipend, no? Sikita sa mukha nila na tuwang-tuwa sila. Yan po. Aside from that, sa UP po kasi may organization din for DOST Scholars. And hindi ako nakasali doon, pero sumasama naman po ako sa kanila kahit hindi ako member. So nakikita ko naman yung pag-conduct nila ng orientation, and yung biggest program po nila sa UP ay yung pag-endorse ng DOST. And kahit na medyo late na kasi yung ibang non-DOST people ay nakapasok na, yan po, active yung pag-promote nila dito sa program na JLSS. So, ayun po. I think enough na pang-engganyo din sa mga students sa UP bagay yung saya sa mukha ng scholars po kapag may pera na. So, yun po. Yan, active sila sa pag-promote doon ng DOST.
So, ayun, iba talaga ang nagagawa ng pera. I mean, sa lahat naman sa atin. So, sa lahat ng inyong mga napagdaanan at naging karanasan nung kayo naging scholar ng bayan, ano ang pinakamahalagang bagay na itinuro sa inyo ng scholarship na ito?
Ano po? Siguro yung biggest learning ko po dito ay yung kung gaano kalaking tulong nito sa pamilya ko. Kung ganitong tulong niya sa pamilya ko, most probably ganun na rin yung pagtulong niya sa pamilya ng maraming tao po. And aside from that, yung na-realize ko lang po na privileged din po pa talaga ako, kasi aside sa monetary benefits ng allowance, makita lang po nila sa resume nyo na DOST Scholar kayo. Super laking tulong na yun. Parang kukunin ka na nila sa trabaho, and then umaasa sila sa reputation mo na DOST Scholar. Sa mga nakilala ko rin na DOST Scholar, most of the time, they uphold the standards of DOST also po, no? So, yeah, meron pong, kumbaga, kakabit ng title na ito yung pangalan na scholar ng bayan, and malaking tulong po siya sa kinabukasan. Siguro di mo paramdam ngayon, pero kapag graduate ka na po at nakadikit yun sa pangalan mo, in a way, magandang kinabukasan na rin yung ibibigay niya sa'yo. So, yun po yung learning ko sa pagiging scholar.
Ayan, thank you so much po, Ma'am Kaye. Actually, totoo po. Yung mga other scholar graduates din po natin is lagi nilang pinapasalamatan ang pagiging scholar nila ng bayan. I think malaki po yung tiwala ng mga ibang gobyerno sa Science Education Institute sa contributions nila dito sa ating bansa. So ngayon, pakinggan din po natin ang pinakamahalagang bagay na itinuro ng DOST-SEI Scholarship kay Ma'am Mayla.
Ayan, so yung parang nabanggit ko din kanina na natutunan ko through DOST Scholarship na to never give up easily. Kapag may mistakes and failures, you learn from them, tapos babangon ulit. Hindi sana yun yung magpapahinto sa ating journey to move on, move further, at may matapos sa buhay. And just like Ma'am Kaye, ayan, salamat din sa DOST dahil kung wala ito, hindi ko alam baka hindi pa ako nakatapos ng college. Kasi ang malaking challenge talaga sa amin ng college is yung finances para makatapos. Ayan. So, yun lang po.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Mayla. Hopefully po yung mga scholar po natin dito, napakinggan po natin yung mga aral na natutunan po ng ating mga graduate scholars. And I do believe po that this scholarship tinitreasure din po nila up until this moment. Ang ating mga speakers for today po ay under RA 10612. Ito po ay program in collaboration po sa DepEd, and now they are teaching as science teachers sa Philippine Science High School-CAR Administrative Region. So ito po ang service obligation po nila dito po sa program kung nasaan po sila ngayon. Ikwento niyo din po Ma'am Kaye at Ma'am Mayla yung experience ninyo bilang teachers or yung experience po na nakuha ninyo dito po sa service obligation kung saan nasaan po kayo. Start po natin kay Ma'am Kaye.
Hello po ulit. Nung nag-apply po ako, ang seryoso pa nung mukha nung ma'am na humarap sa akin, sabi niya, kung pipirman mo tong kontratang to, magtuturo ka. Gusto mo bang magturo? Sabi niya sa akin. Tapos, sige ma'am, okay lang. 2 years lang naman ma'am, sabi ko. Tapos, yun po, hanggang ngayon, 4 years na akong nagtuturo, and ngayong school year, 5 years na rin po. Iba ang inisip po ng iba, hindi ako pwedeng maging teacher kasi ayokong ganito, ayokong ganyan. Pero pag pumasok naman po tayo sa school, mahahanap mo rin yung passion mo sa pagtuturo. Siguro pong pinakamasayang part ng pagtuturo ay yung makita mo yung mukha ng mga bata pag nagets nila yung lesson. Lalo na po sa akin pa ang computer, ang daming possibilities, and kapag naintindihan nila yung lesson mo ay talagang lumiliwanag po yung mukha nila tas wow, ganun pala, pwede pala yun, ganun. So yun po yung pinakamasaya. And aside from that, yung learnings din po na tao yung kaharap mo, na di ba po yung ibang mga trabaho, mga machines or mga formulas yung kaharap nila. At least ito yung sineshape mo mismo, yung final product mo ay buhay ng isang tao. So in a way po ay pressure siya, pero at the same time, very fulfilling. And kapag natatakot po yung mga tao na hindi sila meant to be sa teaching, matututunan din po. And actually po, ang bait nga ng Pisay sa akin kasi nung first year ako, wala siguro akong kwentang teacher na, pero may mentors naman po ako dito, and years later siguro decent teacher na rin po ako. So yun po. And if I were to look at myself 5 years from now, most probably po teacher pa rin ako kahit bayad ko na yung utang ko sa DOST. So yun po.
You would still choose to be a teacher po, ma'am. Na-enjoy nyo naman po ba ang pagtuturo, ma'am? Paano niyo po na-find yung passion niyo po na magturo?
Ano po, hindi po siya yung bigla ang ay gusto ko ng pagtuturo gani over the years din po. And no, kapag may bumabalik na bata sa iyo at magsasabing thank you, ganun, or nakita mo na nag-college siya and computer yung kinuha niyang kurso, talagang natutuwa na lang po ako. So yun, doon ko nakikita na may meaning pa rin ang pagtuturo kahit makalimutan ka na nila. Yan po.
Ayun. Very nice po na sagot yung kay Ma'am Kaye. And pakinggan din po natin ang sagot ni Teacher Mayla sa kwento ng kanyang pagiging isang guro sa PSHS-CAR.
Yan. So, before kong kinuha yung scholarship, nabasa ko na with teaching yung return service. Wala sa passion ko yung pagtuturo. So, nagdalawang isip, tagal yung pag-decide ko na mag-apply. Kasi ayoko nga, hindi parang yung inisip ko agad na hindi ko kayang magturo. Ayan. Meron akong ganyan, pero hindi ko kayang i-convey. Siguro pag tutor na 1:1, pwede, pero yun yung pagkakaalam ko noon. Pero may nagsabi sa akin na why not give chance na matry mo yung teaching. Kung ayaw mo talaga, saka ka umalis. So after graduation, may nagsabing may opening dun sa Pisay. So pumunta ako agad, hinabol ko yung screening. So nag-apply ako. And dun sa pag-apply, hindi ako nag-demo kasi naunahan ako ng kabay. Wala akong idea kung ano talagang gagawin sa pagtuturo. Pero yun, yung kagandahan, kinuha pa rin ako. So inisip ko, baka talagang gustong itry ni parang yun yung parang kailangan kong daanan yun, yung pagtuturo. So nag-start ako 2019 sa PSHS-CAR. And nung una, hirap na hirap talaga ako. Pero parang gaya ni Ma'am Kaye, yung inisip ko sa sarili ko, wala din akong kwentang teacher. Hindi ko alam kasi kung after kong mag-discuss, yung makikita sa mga mukha ng mga students, parang wala silang naintindihan. Kaya parang lagi kong iniisip, tama na ba? Magbabayad na lang ba ako sa DOST or itutuloy ko? So, pero nung latter part ng school year na yon, nakikita ko, wait, bakit parang medyo nag-e-enjoy na ako? Tapos yung mga students, medyo nagiging close na din, yung merong understanding nakikita. So, hanggang to the point na second year, sige, go pa rin. Yan, second year, turo ulit ako. Ngayon magsastart yung third year. So, parang enjoy naman, nagugustuhan ko yung pagtuturo. And very thankful ako sa PSHS-CAR kasi maano sila, hindi sila pabaya sa mga faculty. Nandun yung support, may mentoring, sabi nga ni Ma'am Kaye, which is very good. So doon habang nagtuturo ako, nag-aaral din at the same time kung paano maging magturo effectively sa mga students. And na-enjoy ko din kasi naging homeroom advisor. Ayan. Parang mas dahil galing din kami actually doon ni Ma'am Kaye nung high school. Kami yung naunang batch. So, mas advantage namin kasi through that, yung experience namin, mas madali namin maintindihan kung ano yung napagdadaanan ng mga estudyante, ganun. So, yun yung isang way para na unti-unti ko natututunan kung paano maging effective teacher doon. So, ayun po. Enjoy naman, and sa tingin ko, hindi pa ako aalis doon kahit matatapos na yung year, yung obligation ko sa DOST. Ayun po.
Ayun, so napakabuti po ng mga guro ang dalawa po nating resource speaker na ito. So sa mga soon PSHS-CAR scholars, mamimit nyo din po si Ma'am Kaye at Ma'am Mayla kasi sabi po nila mag-stay pa po sila sa PSHS-CAR. So Ma'am Kaye, na-process nyo na po ba yung final clearance po ninyo?
Hindi pa.
kasi wala pa po kayong planong umalis.
Sige.
Ma'am, before po kayo na-employ sa PSHS-CAR, meron po bang offers from other countries po for the both of you, ma'am? Or other offers sa other agencies na hindi po teaching profession?
Meron sa akin, ma'am, Japan-based siya. Yan
And
po.
why did you choose po to stay in the
Mm.
Philippines aside from the service obligation po?
Aside po sa magbabayad ng utang, parang hindi pa ako ready mag-abroad. And ano po, siguro sa 8 years ko na rin kasi Pisay po, tapos UP, tapos DOST, parang naituro na rin nila sa amin na kailangan kayo dito. Di ako naniniwala noon, ma'am, pero later on, na-realize ko rin na oo nga, mas okay ata pag dito kasi mayayaman na yung ibang bansa eh. Eh kapag aalis ako, lalong maghihirap ang Pilipinas, sabi ko sa sarili ko. Yan po. Yan. So,
Very
yan
nice
po,
po.
dito pa rin ako.
Ayun po. Ikaw ngay po, Ma'am Mayla.
Ayan. After graduation po, wala po akong natanggap na offer from other countries or other companies na hindi teaching profession. Kasi hindi po naka-private po yung CV ko sa ibang ano. Pero may mga ano naman, may mga invitation. Yan. Invitation from hindi mismo sa kumpanya, sa mga kakilala lang ganun. Pero dahil nga yung nasa isip ko noon, nakafocus ako sa pagbayad ng utang, dumiretso ako sa pag-apply sa PSHS-CAR.
Okay, so ayan po. Not to mention po pala sa ating mga viewers for today, Ma'am Kaye and Ma'am Mayla are, yung profession po nila or yung tinapos po nila is not related to teaching. Si Ma'am Kaye po is BS in Computer Science and Ma'am Mayla is engineer po, BS in Chemical Engineer. So mas pinili po nila na mag-return of service sa pagtuturo para i-mold po yung mga future PSI scholars po natin na mag-return of service din or magbigay ng or mag-give back sa ating nation. And I would also want to mention po na at Ma'am Kaye and Ma'am Mayla are the first batch na taga PSHS-CAR. So thank you so much, Ma'am, po for allowing us to be our resource speaker for the eighth episode of our Dad at the DOST Scholar. And for my last question po, ano ang wish niyo sa science and technology dito sa Pilipinas at ano po ang mensahe ninyo sa DOST? Sino po ang gustong mauna?
Ako na lang po, Ma'am.
Po, Ma'am Mayla. Sige po.
Ayan. So, ang wish ko lang po sa DOST is to continue their different scholarship programs para sa youth kasi malaking tulong talaga, hindi lang sa kanila mismo, sa families nila, and sa ibang mga companies, organizations kung saan sila i-employ in the future. Ayan. So, sabi nga nila, maasahan kapag DOST Scholar. Tapos, isa pa, kasi yung aside from DOST Scholarship, yung DOST, meron ding other programs very helpful to businesses like yung lending sa mga small business for them to grow. Ayan, meron yon. Yung ibang mga test, laboratory test offered by DOST, ayan. Sana mas lalawak pa yung sakop ng mga programs nyo. And very thankful ako kasi these days or today, very sa social media yung promotions ng DOST Scholarship na wala yun noon. Ayan. And sana hindi lang, wag sanang parang hindi hihinto dun sa social media. Parang meron din kayong like yung ginagawa ng PSHS-CAR na pupunta through schools sa mga liblib para malaman din ng mga lugar na inaccessible yung internet about these scholarship programs. Yan. So, yun po, DOST, patuloy kayong mag-hold ng mga scholars natin. Kasi, yun nga, naniniwala ako dun sa kasabihan na ang mga scholar ay pag-asa ng bayan. Yan. So, Ma'am Kaye.
Ma'am Kaye?
Ayan, hello po. Ang wish ko po sa science and technology ng bansa ay sana mas mag-focus ang bansa doon, no? Kasi halos lahat ng problema ngayon ay science lang ang makasolve. Yung pandemic natin ngayon, yung continuous na pagbaha, and even yung shortage ng crops natin, lalo na sa Cordillera. Meron nga po akong mga kapitbahay dito ngayon sa Baguio na yung lahat ng lettuce nila ay wala na. So kung titignan ko yun, baka isang truck na yun ng lettuce and hindi po nila mabenta dahil lang sa bagyo. And kung scientifically inclined lang sana yung neighbors ko na yun, na farmers, okay, siguro buhay pa po yung lettuce nila ngayon at naibenta nila. So I hope na in the future, yung mga scholars po natin and DOST as a whole would solve the problems of the everyday Filipinos, na kahit yung simpleng maibenta lang yung kanilang produce for a month, ay alam ko po na science lang ang makakasolve. And hopefully, ang DOST po ay ituloy lang niya yung pagtatrabaho niya. I know na medyo nahuhuli ang pag-prioritize sa DOST ng gobyerno natin, no? But if we just continue with our current progress, and also hopefully because of the achievements of our scholars in the future, mabibigyan din po tayo ng spotlight at mas malaking budget. So yun po.
Ayan, maraming salamat sa mga kasagutan ng ating mga ambassadors ng Science and Technology, sila Teacher Kaye and Ma'am Mayla. Sa ating mga manunood po sa araw na ito, ang sinasabi po nila Ma'am Kaye and Ma'am Mayla po regarding po sa utang is what we call service obligation. Dito po kasi sa DOST, yung scholarship programs po natin is the government will sustain your education by giving you financial assistance, yung stipend, book allowance, tuition fee sa mga nasa private institution. Ngayon, meron na po tayong thesis allowance and the graduation allowance, yung mga financial assistance po na ibinibigay, hindi po ninyo babayaran na pera din po. Ang bayad po nun ay service obligation dito sa ating bansa. Ito po ay it's either you would be working in a government institution or public institution. Tantamount po dun sa amount kung ilang years niyo po na-enjoy yung scholarship. So kay Ma'am Kaye po, tas kay Ma'am Mayla na under 10612 Junior Level Science Scholarship, 2 years po yun. So they will be having service obligation po sa ating bansa by teaching na 2 years din po. Pero sa mga RA 767 and merit scholars, any government or private agency, pwede na po yun na maging service obligation po nila pag nagtrabaho po sila after po graduation. So, ang next program po natin is our resource speaker will be discussing po yung programs ng Philippine Science High School or yung incoming application po ng PSHS-CARC.
Ayan, so hello. If kayong mga nanonood ngayon ng DOST Scholarship ay incoming college, I hope na meron po kayong mga adding na incoming grade 6 naman. So for this year, let me present to you the mechanics on how you can apply as a PSI scholar for the incoming school year 2022-2023. Let me present to you RACE, which is the requirements for admission, criteria, and evaluation. Noon po, NCE ang tawag namin kasi all applicants must take an exam, which is the National Competitive Examination. But for this year, since pandemic po siya, ang good news po ay no entrance exam is required for our students. Instead, we are giving our applicants a criteria on how they will be evaluated. So you can apply online at the following website, nce.pshs.edu.ph, and you can also apply on-site on our campus if you live in Baguio City. We are at Irisan, in Puroktal, Irisan in Baguio. The deadline for application is on October 29. If you are from a public elementary school, and October 22 if you are from a private school. So we highly encourage you to apply via online. Pero if hindi po possible yun, we are accepting face-to-face applications. So yung eligibility po for students to apply is the student should be a grade 6 pupil for this school year 2021-2022, and they should have a final grade of 85% or better in science and math. If the student's grade in science and math are below 85%, wag po kayong matakot. You only need to belong to the upper 10% of your graduating batch. And of course, you should be a Filipino citizen, and you should not be more than 15 years old by June 30, 2022. And you should have at least a satisfactory rating in your character rating, and you should have not previously applied for PSI. And lastly, you should be or preferably in good health and fit to undergo a rigorous academic program. So this means po that when you enter, we will have to learn lessons that are way advanced compared to our DepEd or regular high school counterparts. And you will also have to take a science course when you graduate from college. So yeah, think about it, but the benefits are very, very nice, and you are assured of a quality science education. So apply now to become a PSI scholar. Yan po.
So yes, apply now as PSI scholars. Take it from us who were once PSI scholars. So if others can, you can also do it. Huwag kayong matakot dun sa pagiging advance ng mga lessons. Kasi for your own good din naman, and tutulungan kayo, hindi kayo apak-apakan doon pag kayo nahihirapan na. No. Malaking tututukan kayo since di ba every exam 90 ang privilege na makakapasok lang dito sa school na to. So yun lang, apply now sa mga incoming grade 6 students dyan.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Kaye and Ma'am Mayla, sa pagbigay ng inyong mga karanasan bilang isang DOST Scholar. Ngayon naman, gusto namin na ibigay virtually ang Certificate of Appreciation para sa inyo. Let me read po the content. Republic of the Philippines, Department of Science and Technology, Cordillera Administrative Region, awards the Certificate of Appreciation to Miss Mayla Grace L. Fangayen and Miss Kaye Melina Natividad B. Alamag, in grateful acknowledgement of their invaluable inspiration, dedication to the public service, and commitment as a DOST Scholar, given this 27th day of August 2021 during the DADAT the DOST Scholar, a DOST Scholar story, held at DOST-CAR Regional Office and signed by the Regional Director, Nancy A. Bantog.
Thank you, DOST-CAR.
Thank you po for this opportunity to share.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Kaye and Ma'am Mayla. Bago natin tuluyang tapusin ang ating programa, tawagin po natin si Dr. Pipita S. Pikpikan, Assistant Regional Director of Technical Services, para sa kanyang closing remarks.
To our guest resource speakers, Ma'am Kaye Melina Natividad Alamag and Ma'am Mayla Grace Fangayen, Dr. Wilfredo Medna, USC Scholars, the USC-CAR family led by our Regional Director, Dr. Nancy A. Bantog, and the Provincial Science and Technology Directors, USC-CAR Scholarship Coordinator, Ms. Alice Balacqua, with the Scholarship Unit staff who facilitated this activity, all the listeners and viewers, good morning to everyone. In behalf of the DOST-CAR, we would like to thank you all for participating in today's series of DADAT the DOST Scholar, which means a DOST Scholar story. We highly appreciate also the participation, inspiration, and support of Dr. Wilfredo Mina, the President of the Federation of Career Guidance Advocates Networks of the Philippines Incorporated. Likewise, we congratulate and highly appreciate the participation and sharing of Ma'am Kaye Melina Natividad Alamag and Ma'am Mayla Grace Fangayen, who are among the successful scholar graduates and exemplary models from high school to college. They are both models of the DOST Philippine Science High School, as well as the DOST Undergraduate Scholarship Program. We have listened to their inspiring success stories and how they have overcome the challenges as scholars of the Philippine Science High School, then as DOST Undergraduate Scholars, and now as special science teachers to where they are alumna in high school. It is inspiring to know that they are now giving back their services to their former high school, hoping that their success stories as scholar graduates from the Philippine Science High School and USC undergraduate scholarships, and where they are now would serve as inspiration, challenge, or model to the current as well as future DOST scholars. Thank you, Teacher Kaye and Teacher Mayla, for engaging in today's series of the DOST Scholar. Knowing your experiences and success as scholar graduates from high school to college and what you are today inspire not only the current scholars and potential scholars, but all the listeners and viewers. To all the listeners and viewers, we hope you were thrilled with their challenging experiences and success. To the potential scholars, we hope you were encouraged to aspire as future Philippine Science High School and DOST undergraduate scholars. As future DOST scholar graduates, you will contribute and help increase the science and technology human resources for the development of the region and the country as well. We look forward to more testimonies of challenges and success from other DOST scholar graduates in the next series of the DOST Scholar. Thank you all and stay safe. Have a good day to all.
Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Pita. So may mga konting announcement lang po tayo. We are calling all our graduate scholars to please accomplish our online tracer form and the link will be posted on our comment section. At iniimbitahan din po namin ang ating mga DOST-SEI scholars, graduate ka man or ongoing, na maging bahagi ng isang challenge na aming sinimulan dito sa DOST-CAR. Mithiin po ng challenge na ito na i-promote ang DOST-SEI scholarship sa buong Pilipinas at mahikayat ang ating mga incoming grade 12 students ng school year 2021 to 2022 and regular third-year college students enrolled in an SNT priority course na mag-apply sa darating na application ngayong taon. Itong challenge na ito ay binansagang hashtag Tell the Philippines DOST-SEI Scholarship is Great. Mag-post lamang po kayo ng video of yourself sharing why DOST-SEI Scholarship is great at i-post ito publicly sa inyong social media account using the hashtag. Para sa karagdagang impormasyon, panoorin po natin ang videong ito.
So, the five of you are best friends?
Yes, we go to school together. And we somehow became close. First of all, Zareen Panito. She doesn't compromise self-care in the pursuit of getting high grades. Zor is the only DSPI student in the group, and she envisions herself as one of the country's leading microbiologists overseeing a world-class laboratory.
Carol Morales. She is the happy pill of the group, never a dull moment when she's around. A future medical doctor and an active member of the Baguio Association of Government Grantees and Scholars, she's always ready to lend a hand to her fellow scholars.
Kevin Zaragoza. This one's our golden boy. You'd need to inspect him under a $27 million electron microscope to have a chance of finding his flaw. He envisions heading the cardiothoracic surgery department and doing multiple pro bono cases for his fellow Filipinos.
Hailing from the beach capital of the north, this humble yet capable wallflower is not to be messed with. Suyan reigns with so much potential, being able to think outside the box and multitask efficiently. She greatly aspires to promote healthcare and help give a better and healthier life to the vulnerable population.
A future doctor and the fitness champion of the group, Justin Shello is extremely supportive of our attempts at working out and eating healthy. If she's not studying or guiding us in our fitness journey, you can find her either crocheting a scarf, cross-stitching nature sceneries, or bringing color to a drawing.
Standing on the precipice of an uncharted territory was daunting.
However, diving into and navigating the deep waters was all the more terrifying.
We had to acclimate to a new academic environment while giving the adulting life a go. With that came failures and doubts, stress, and breakdowns.
But the support of the DOST-SEI community has been one of the lifelines that helped us stay afloat and thrive through the storms.
Providing us with numerous webinars and formation programs, financial assistance, and a common ground with our peers and established professionals, the DOST-SEI Scholarship has been significantly guiding us to a brighter future.
As DOST-SEI Scholars, we are instilled with the values of patriotism, leadership, environmentalism, and deep regard for life. It is not an overstatement to say that the DOST-SEI Scholarship changed our lives for the better.
Thank you, DOST-SEI.
To our fellow Filipino students,
we encourage you to take the DOST-SEI Scholarship examination.
Grab the opportunity this year
and be one of us.
Be a scholar of the country and for the country.
Maging isko at iska ng bayan.
Scholar ng bayan para sa bayan.
We are students in the School of Natural Sciences at St. Luke's University.
And we are here to tell the Philippines that
the DOST-SEI Scholarship is great.
The DOST-SEI Scholarship is great.
The
DOST-SEI
Scholarship
is great.
Again, maraming salamat sa bawat isa sa atin. Hinihingi po namin ang bawat viewer na pakisagutan ng evaluation form na nasa comment link. Salamat and see you in the science community.
Thank you.